Hello, welcome, and thanks for listening to Carbon Cli-MATES, an energy podcast dedicated to discussing all things energy, carbon, and sustainability. We also like to talk about what's getting hot, aside from our planet. I'm your host, Anya, and today I'm joined with my Carbon Cli-MATE and co-host, Tanya, who I will be introducing now. Hi, Tanya, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Like,
Doing
thank
good.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks. I always get like thrown off when people like because I create the podcast like to
Mm-hmm.
ask how people are doing, like
Oh
look
yeah.
at climate, and then when people ask me, I'm like, oh my goodness, well,
Yeah.
brilliant. Well, how has your week been?
So my week was very productive.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of work in office as well. A lot of work on weekends as well because I take my own projects, so I have to work on them on weekends. I only get time then. So yeah, it was very productive. Been working
Excellent.
just a week. Yeah, that's it.
Very good. And we knew each other because you're employed with a sister company of BP Energy called Caldwell Consulting.
Yeah.
So can you describe what's your job title there?
So my job title is BIM engineer, and it's mostly related to creating models, managing all the mechanical, electrical, and all the pipes and everything, and designing the layouts and coordinating this with architect and other consultants.
Very
So
good.
this is what my responsibilities are,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, nice, nice. Brilliant. Well, how long have you been in this sector, the construction or BIM sector?
Yeah, so I have been working like for more than 4 years now in this sector with BIM because when I was in my uni, in my bachelor's, doing my architecture, I have been taking my own projects then as well. So it's been like kind of 4+ years working in construction and architecture industry.
Mhm.
But honestly, in BIM, I was introduced like 3 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, it was my like first job, initial job back in India, and it was one company, Galactic Group, where I worked there as a BIM architect, and it was kind of a new company, and it was a startup company, so I really had a lot of responsibility, so I really learned a lot from that.
Okay,
Yeah.
brilliant. Wow, very interesting. And see, you said you knew about BIM in your bachelor's. See, when you were at school, I'm not too sure what the Indian equivalent is for secondary school here or high school. But when you're like at that age, maybe 16, 17, did you ever envisage yourself in the sector?
No, actually, when I was doing my bachelor's in architecture, I really didn't expect that I would get into BIM industry because I always thought about myself as a like creative person and I will be in designing and architecture sector. And there was always this myth going on that BIM is only about modeling, just creating digital models of what the building is, and you will lose all the creativity. But but when I was introduced to the BIM concept, it is nothing like that. It's so much more like no one could ever imagine. Like I have learned a lot when BIM was introduced to me from my like past senior company COO. He was my mentor, like Akash, and he introduced me the concept of BIM.
Very good.
And that time I decided like I have to pursue masters in that, and that's why I'm here now. So yeah.
Wow, brilliant. You're the type of person, you know what you want, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go for it. Like that's it.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
for it. Like this is such a good concept, like because in India, all the construction methods are traditional. But here you have BIM mandate and it's so good, it's so sustainable. You save a lot of cost, you save time and so many benefits.
Oh wow, okay,
Yeah.
that's really class to hear. Okay, well, as you could probably guess by Tanya's introduction and explanation of her job role, today's episode will be focused on BIM, which stands for Building Information Modeling. So originally you had an episode in episode 3, if you listeners want to listen again, where we discuss BIM and the process of creating a model. But BIM, Building Information Modeling, it's where we engineers like us create a 3D model of the building that is going to be developed and fill it with as much information as we possibly can. So this includes, as you're saying, Tanya, the pipes, the all the HVAC equipment, the lights, and then also put details in like the types of walls, types of windows, the roof, the fabric of the building. And this helps us get a realistic view
Yeah.
of how like what the building's going to look like. Is it functional?
Yeah.
And like allows like any changes, like they can be easily made.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's brilliant. And so BIM, like I've been in this sector for. I always start the like I always say in these episodes, I've been in this sector, and I'm pretty sure each episode it changes how many years I've been in this sector.
Okay. Yeah.
So I've been in this sector, I'd say 9 years.
Oh my God.
And the last couple of years I've really seen BIM like take off with being
Booming.
used. Yeah, with mechanical and
Yeah,
electrical
that's true.
designs, and they're really helpful. And it's also our job as engineers, we would talk to the architect, and the architects, most of them use BIM,
Yeah.
or like some type of BIM. And when we're using the same software, it's a lot easier to communicate
Correct.
and
Yeah.
help them make any changes. But excellent. So the type of BIM we are going to be talking about today is it's a BIM package called Revit, which is
Yeah.
owned by Autodesk.
Okay.
Now, anyone who's doing engineering in uni, or anyone who actually took a technology and design GCSE or Q Stage 3, that is a type of BIM software. You've probably come across it. SolidWorks, Autodesk, AutoCAD, Solid Edge for any of the Ulster University users out there. But yeah, there's BIM everywhere. But yes, we're going to be talking about Revit. So, Tanya, you're a BIM engineer here.
Yeah.
But then you also have a business where you are able to freelance as a BIM modeler.
Yeah.
But
So like that is the great opportunity, like I think in BIM industry people are still lacking skills, and those who have skills can get like so many projects, so many opportunities in BIM, and those who don't, like they really should develop their skills in softwares, and so yeah, we are working as a freelancers. Me and my partner, we have this. We soon be opening our venture called Dot BIM, and we have now currently worked for like 25 plus projects, and it's going very good. Like this consultancies, I work with one of the consultancy, which is the branch is in London, and one again in New York. So it was a massive hospital project which I worked on, and they were open to give as much money you want, Then there's no limiting in money in film sector, and just because you have skills and you can just showcase that and you can just give your services, so it's the best thing you can do in this industry.
That is amazing, and it's great to see the likes of contractors out there realizing the importance of BIM.
Yeah.
Got a wee fun fact for you,
Yeah.
or not so fun fact. Actually, I'm going to phrase it like a question.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm going to be careful with how I phrase this because all the questions I prepare, I somehow mess them up. Okay, but I did a search on LinkedIn for Revit or BIM engineers. Okay, do you know how many jobs there are out there advertised at the minute in the UK?
Okay. As far as I know, like Ireland is a hub of BIM. There's huge demand in Ireland. I would say like there must be like. Are you talking about just Northern Ireland or
whole UK in general?
UK? Okay.
I'm pretty sure that I'm not too sure what my filters were set.
Okay, for the whole UK, I would say like there must be like near about 200 jobs.
Well, did you know 7,000 came out?
7,000?
So I think I should have really looked into detail the results.
Oh my God.
But when you type in BIM or Revit into LinkedIn, there's 7,000 opportunities that come up.
That's huge.
It's so huge. Now I'm sure like there's some that are really focused and some that aren't as focused.
It still is a huge market, right? Like
huge market. You've got huge job security and job capabilities for that. So anyone who is maybe likes a bit of software like Revit or any other Autodesk software, just know there's plenty of job opportunities. Yeah.
True.
Oh, brilliant. So could you tell us what the exact process you go through when you're working, say, with Revit and you want to create a project?
Yeah, so like first you gotta have a project,
Mm-hmm.
and then second thing you do is like start creating Revit models. But first you should know the scope from the stakeholder.
Mm-hmm.
Getting the scope is very necessary because you won't be overdoing it and you won't be underdoing it, because you'll get the right amount of pay scale and right amount of exactly what is needed basically.
Okay.
So yeah, understanding scope is very important from stakeholder. You should know like what plans is it needed, what elevations, or what are they expecting, what 3D, or do they need any further sustainable analysis or scheduling or costing, everything. And then first, if you have a scope, if you have correct project details, correct project specification, then you just start modeling it. And then, but communication is the key. Like BIM project requires high collaboration. Because right now we are working on this one project and our client is in USA. And over the week, he goes to site, he works on the project on site. And on weekends, we need to have meetings with him. On Sundays, we just have like 8 to 9 hours of straight meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And there we discuss all the drawings and all the plans and how the design will look. So this 3D visualization helps a lot, like what it is going to be on site. So creating a digital model beforehand construction, it really solves a lot of time. It will solve errors, and yeah, so
That's
so communication is the key, basically creating any Revit project. And just creating Revit project is, you should know the basic skills, you should know how to use the software, how to run it,
Mhm.
and that's how you create a model. Then that's it.
Excellent. I love like doing this
Yeah.
like interviewing people every day, and I love seeing them so passionate about their job. And that really came across there when you were speaking about it. So that's really great. So guys, everyone can be as passionate about BIM as Tanya is,
Yeah.
okay?
Join me.
But yeah, exactly. So that's interesting. Just another wee tip. How long like would a project last for you, or is it really dependent on the length of the
Yeah, it
construction?
totally depends on length of construction. So I'll just give you an example. So I was working on this hospital project, and it was among like it was on 5 acres of land, and it was just the scope was scan to BIM. So they just got me a laser scan, point cloud scan, which I can upload it on Revit, and then from that scan I'll create a model.
Mhm.
I can even make a topography from it, like site work and everything. I can add all the details. Like laser scan is like the best tool you can use for restoration,
Right.
because the hospital was actually built on site and they just wanted to do the further renovations on it. So
Okay.
they just sent me a scan of it, and then I just made a 3D model of it. So it just took like what, like just 2 weeks for me to create that model for 5 acres land. But the one project I'm talking about, it is a residential project,
Okay.
which is in USA, and the client itself goes to site and build his own house. And it's been year we are working on this project,
Mm-hmm.
because we are detailing all the framing structure, foundations, interior, and all the facade materials, landscape, and everything, all the lighting. So it totally depends on scope actually, not
Yeah.
even scale, because you can get the higher scale project done in a week, but even lower scale project will take year because you have high scope in that. You need to create documentation drawings, you need to create walkthroughs, 3D and presentations, whatever is needed. So it all
Wow.
depends on what scope is expected from you.
Okay, right. Okay, so
Yeah.
project specific. Okay, really, that's really good to know. And so much detail that goes into it as well.
Okay.
That's brilliant. Well, you're talking about you have your own consultancy, or like you're starting your own consultancy side business to your BIM engineer job at Caldwell, so you get a lot of experience
Yeah.
with BIM. Would you recommend, is there any sort of training out there like for anyone who wants to get started in?
Yeah. So for training, like there are so many videos on YouTube. You can just learn Revit from that, because I did the same in my when I was doing my bachelor's. I just went through YouTube pages, and there's one page, Balkan Architects. It's so good. Like you will find each and every solution related to Revit on that page. So I would suggest like just scroll around that page. It's very good and it's very explanatory. And other than that, I think getting a guidance from a professional, experienced person would be very beneficial. Like I got in my first job, Akash introduced me to this concept of BIM and Revit, and he I used to think that I know Revit, like I know how to use, but I didn't know how to use it in professionally. There are so many lot different things to use Revit in professionally, and yeah, it was just very new concept. Like we were working on this project from Dubai and USA, and it was just surprising for me. Like sitting in India, I can work on projects all over the world.
Yeah.
Like it's so good. Just you need is high collaboration. That's it. But yeah, it was very good. It was very shocking to me when I got to know about BIM. Like it's just very surprising, and you can do so many things on that.
That's well, you could say like all your experience with them, you've been there and done that. No?
Yeah, I've been there and done that.
That's actually a good episode title. I should have said that.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, so yeah, there's like a mix. YouTube and then like professional guidance.
Professional guidance is must.
always
Yeah.
helpful. That's great. Well, Tanya, kind of reached the point in the episode where each of these episodes I like to tailor a wee fun section for each of my guests. So because we're talking about BIM and talking about Revit, section is called Viva la Revit-lucion.
Oh, yeah.
You can keep that now. But yes, so I'm just going to yabber some facts and you give me your take on them. But first, I want to ask you a question. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Revit, type of software package we're talking about. Do you know what Revit stands for?
Wow, it's like that's never wondered actually. I know so much about Revit, but never wondered like what would Revit mean actually.
Well,
what does it mean?
Would it surprise you to learn that Revit it's shortened down to revise instantly?
Okay.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be talking about the ease of making a change to a 3D model of the building. So,
okay.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, just a little bit of
good to know.
Yeah, you could use that if there's like if you go to any pub quizzes, I'm sure they're gonna ask that.
Yeah. That's the basic thing you should know about Revit.
or creating your own pub quiz with all your Revit. But yeah, brilliant. Okay, I've also got another tidbit for you.
Yeah.
So Autodesk it purchased Revit in 2002. Can you give me a guesstimate of how much it purchased Revit for?
I think it's
I'm going to give you a clue. It's in the millions.
What? It's in millions.
Yeah.
Autodesk didn't create Revit. They just bought Revit from some.
You know what? I really should have looked at Google. Yeah, I think they've acquired the from what my trusty source.
I know like Revit license cost around £3,000 per year.
Wow.
They could have got it for millions. Like
they've brought the
Is it less than 5 millions?
They bought the whole software Revit, including it in their package. They bought it in 2002 for $133 million.
Oh my god!
I know. $133 million. I realized I should have the currency.
That's a lot.
But yeah. Okay, I've got one more question for you.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Revit, okay, and being a software you create 3D building on. And with software, it has a file type. Can you tell me how many file types Revit has?
Okay. It has DWG, DWX, IFC, NWC, 4 for now, and are there more?
Yes, so you're completely correct in those ones. And then there's also the types of files it has, the likes of a project file and a family file.
Oh, yeah.
And a template and a shared file.
Shared file. Yeah.
From my understanding, it's where you share it to, like, say if the architect has it and then like, okay, this is the model I'm working on.
Correct.
You can see any changes or...
Yeah, you can see changes. We can sync our models and we can see all the changes in collaboration. So
Brilliant.
That's good.
Well, you were talking earlier about the like types of projects you've worked on, so the likes of residential and hospital. Can I ask, like, what, in your opinion, what's been the most difficult project you've worked on, or the most annoying project, or no, sorry, I won't phrase it like that. What's been the most testing your knowledge project you've worked on?
So so I have worked on like this luxurious hotel projects. Like right now, I'm working in Caldwell on Admiral Triarch, and before previously, I worked on this Masamaka project, which is in Saudi Arabia,
Wow.
and it's a huge project. Like there are like 24,000 bedrooms in that hotel, and so it was a quite big project, and we were a team in India, and we had to coordinate with the team in Dubai. So we had to stay on call every time, and that project was like they were re- they were creating the exact digital model what they were going to do on site, right from the pipe, what company pipe are they using, right from the faucet they are using. It has to be the exact same copy of it, exact replica of what they're going to construct, so that they could do all the analysis and they could get the exact cost and exact material to avoid material wastage. So this project took a lot of time. Like I would say, like it took more than 8 to 9 months to work on this just to create BIM model. Not even on site. It was just modeling and collaborating thing. So yeah, it was a huge project and huge learning curve for me from that. And I was kind of leading that project, like I had to take calls with the Dubai team, and I had to coordinate with them, give each and every update. And yeah, it was very fun actually. That time I got to know like how this BIM collaboration works.
Wow, that's amazing. And you're saying you've worked all these places like America, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
You ever get a chance to go visit them? Like,
No, sadly no, because as a BIM consultant, I think you lack that thing because you're just working remotely. You can work from anywhere. That's kind of a benefit as well, but
yeah.
kind of bad thing because you don't never get to visit on sites. But yeah, one day when I'll have my own project, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be class. Oh my goodness. But yeah, you just highlighted a key point. So anyone who wants to focus on BIM as a career, you can work remotely.
Exactly. You can work
Anywhere.
from anywhere.
Yeah, you
And
can
you can be get payment from like any currency.
Oh my goodness, you probably get it from Bitcoin or something.
Never tried that, but yeah.
Okay. This seems very good. Okay, well, brilliant. Thanks for answering that, Tanya. Okay, now I can ask you, what's your favorite thing to do in Revit? Or I'm sorry, that's a nerdy question, but I've got the software I use, and I've talked about it before in this podcast. It is called SAP software, and it creates like energy assessments for domestic properties. But I have like favorite things I like to do in the software. So I'm like, I'll ask you, like what you like to do in your software.
So yeah, I actually love to use Revit, like I can visually see like what this building is going to be, and I can do so many experiments with the material and the designs. So I just love the coordination process, like I'm working on this, and maybe next day someone else can continue working on that. That kind of coordination. I just love coordinating like how this is going to turn out, and getting the exact digital replica is so cute, like there's like enormous big building is going to be constructed on site, but you have this cute little model on Revit. And so yeah, I just love that. And because uh, coordination process is so much better because it saves a lot of time and reduces so many errors on site. You can, because on Nevis work, what you can do is you can put your constructions project manager schedule in that. You can connect it on Nevis work, and you can just see a time lapse video of how your building is going to construct. Like on this day, this wall will be constructed, and then on other day, slab will be constructed. So you can actually see that crane coming in, the truck coming in, like how that truck is facing traffic, and you can get like each and every detail about that, each and every detail about the schedule that is going to be achieved in that project. So it's so handy and it saves a lot of error.
Yeah.
So that's so many more benefits. Even I don't know. So.
That's amazing. I didn't know you could do like a time lapse.
Yeah, time lapse, like how it's going to be constructed on site. So
wow,
it's amazing.
Okay, very, very good. Very, very cool. Okay, I wish I had software that did that for me. But yeah, no, that's class. It's really great. I'm seeing a lot of like a lot of people or a lot of the universities I would sometimes go to. a lot of people, they're using technologies like BIM and like IES, and all these different softwares that can help with construction projects. But it's really great to see that like stuff like this, like where back in my day, back in 2013, maybe only like a handful of people were going into, but
Yeah.
now it's considered a major like field.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. And this is the thing, like, because like coming here, studying here, gaining experience from UK, because like in India, people are not aware like what BIM benefits are and how much cost they can save on construction, how much wastage of material can be reduced. So I just think like uh, I'll be able to promote this thing through my venture or my freelance projects, and I can bring that in India. Just I think in India, just awareness of BIM is must. That's it. That is what is lacking, and yeah,
That's really great to hear. Oh my goodness. Tanya, can I just say thank you? You've been absolutely brilliant to
Yeah.
have on. Just before we go, do you have any advice for any prospective BIM engineers or modelers who are looking to use or BIM or the likes of Revit?
Yeah, so I would just say like get familiarized with yourself with all the softwares and what BIM is. Get your concepts clear because I know there are so many misconceptions about BIM as well. But I think one should know how to use BIM and what softwares to use. And yeah, that's it. The software is the only key you can, and just connect with, do network in BIM because even I will feel happy if someone would come up to me and introduce me like, oh,
Yeah.
they are also working as a BIM professional. So much to talk about. And just I would suggest like go on, do networking and connect and just ask stupid questions to everyone. Some or the other will always help.
Is there body that you can get accredited with for BIM, or is it more SIBC or like an institute of building engineers
I
or
think there is accreditation, but not as higher as SIPC or anything. It's just like a certification you can get.
okay.
I'm not sure if you can get accredited.
Okay, well, Tanya, next time you're on, you'll hopefully know the
Yeah. Surely.
Oh, that's brilliant. Well, my piece of advice is an advice I have just come up with in the last 20 minutes. Okay. So again, it's for anyone who wants to go out, use BIM or the likes of Autodesk. So if you use Autodesk, you will auto impress.
That's a good line.
Thank you. That could be the tagline of your venture. Excellent. Oh, well, Tanya, thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for calling me.
Thanks for listening to Carbon Cli-MATES. If you follow us on Instagram at carbon_Cli-MATES, you can keep up to date with all our latest news and posts. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye.